Royal watchers around the world were caught off guard when one of the British monarchy's longest-standing traditions suddenly changed after nearly 4 decades. For 37 years, the royal family's annual Commonwealth Day service was broadcast live on British television, becoming a staple event for millions of viewers who tuned in every March to watch the royal arrivals, the speeches, and the powerful symbolism of the Commonwealth. But this year, that tradition quietly came to an end, and the change has sparked major conversation about the future of the monarchy, the media, and the evolving role of the royal family in modern times. Commonwealth Day is not just another ceremonial date on the royal calendar. It is one of the most significant events for the monarchy each year, bringing together leaders, diplomats, cultural representatives, and members of the royal family at Westminster Abbey in London. The event celebrates the Commonwealth of Nations, a voluntary association of 56 countries spanning Africa, Asia, the Caribbean, Europe, and the Pacific. Together, these nations represent nearly one-third of the world's population. For decades, the Commonwealth has been central to the identity of the British monarchy. It represents a modern partnership between countries that share historical ties to Britain, but now cooperate on equal footing. And for generations of monarchs, especially Queen Elizabeth II, maintaining strong relationships within the Commonwealth has been a major priority. Queen Elizabeth II devoted much of her reign to strengthening the Commonwealth. She visited countless member nations, attended dozens of Commonwealth meetings, and often described the organization as one of her proudest achievements. In fact, she once famously said that the Commonwealth was a family of nations, united not by force, but by shared values and mutual respect. Every year on Commonwealth Day, a special service is held at Westminster Abbey to celebrate that unity. The ceremony includes cultural performances from different member countries, readings by prominent figures, music from international choirs, and a message from the monarch. It is a vibrant celebration of diversity, history, and global cooperation. But the service is also known for something else: the royal arrivals. For years, viewers tuned in not only to hear the speeches and see the performances, but also to watch the royal family arrive at Westminster Abbey. The event typically gathers senior royals, including the King, the Queen, the Prince and Princess of Wales, and other members of the royal household. Cameras capture every detail: the fashion, the greetings, the interactions between family members, and the subtle signals about the monarchy's current dynamics. This year's Commonwealth Day service carried even more significance because it marked one of the biggest public gatherings of senior royals in recent months. King Charles III led the royal family at the ceremony, continuing a role he officially inherited after becoming monarch in September 2022, following the death of Queen Elizabeth II. While Charles had long represented the Queen at Commonwealth events during her later years, this new era of Commonwealth leadership now belongs fully to him. And the pressure on King Charles to carry forward his mother's legacy is immense. Queen Elizabeth II attended Commonwealth Day services for decades, rarely missing the ceremony even in her later years. Her presence became synonymous with the event. The image of the late Queen entering Westminster Abbey surrounded by Commonwealth flags became one of the most recognizable symbols of her reign. So when Charles arrived at the Abbey this year, many observers couldn't help but reflect on how dramatically things have changed. Joining the king was Queen Camilla, who has increasingly taken on a prominent role within the monarchy. Since becoming queen consort, Camilla has worked to establish her own presence within royal duties, focusing on causes such as literacy, domestic violence awareness, and women's advocacy. But perhaps the most anticipated arrivals were Prince William and Catherine, the Princess of Wales. William and Kate remain the most popular members of the royal family among the British public, and their appearances always attract enormous media attention. For many royal watchers, the couple represents the future of the monarchy. At this year's Commonwealth Day service, Catherine once again captured headlines with her elegant appearance. She wore a sophisticated navy coat dress paired with pearl jewelry that once belonged to Queen Elizabeth II. The choice was widely interpreted as a tribute to the late monarch and a subtle reminder of the continuity between generations of the royal family. Royal fashion experts noted that Kate often uses clothing and jewelry to communicate messages without saying a word. Wearing pieces connected to Queen Elizabeth sends a clear signal of respect for tradition, while also reinforcing her role as a future queen. Observers also noticed a warm moment between Catherine and King Charles during the event. As she greeted him at Westminster Abbey, she performed a traditional curtsy and kissed him on the cheek, a gesture that highlighted the increasingly strong relationship between the two. In recent years, royal insiders have described Catherine as someone Charles deeply trusts. Some royal commentators have even said she has become the daughter he never had. Prince William, standing beside his wife, also appeared confident and relaxed throughout the ceremony. As the Prince of Wales and heir to the throne, William is gradually stepping into a larger leadership role within the Commonwealth. Many experts believe that William will eventually modernize the way the monarchy engages with Commonwealth nations, focusing on environmental protection, youth leadership, and global cooperation. But despite the glamour and symbolism of the ceremony, it was the absence of something familiar that became the biggest story. For the first time in 37 years, the Commonwealth Day service was not broadcast live on national television. Since the late 1980s, the event had been televised each year, allowing audiences across Britain and around the world to watch the ceremony as it happened. The live broadcast became part of the tradition itself. Families would tune in, commentators would analyze the royal appearances, and viewers would watch the multi-faith service celebrating unity among nations. But this year, the cameras were gone. The decision came after the BBC made a surprising announcement that it would no longer broadcast the service live, as it had done for decades. The reason? Financial pressures and shifting programming priorities. Instead of airing the Commonwealth Day service, the network filled the time slot with other programming, a move that stunned royal fans and commentators alike. Critics quickly began questioning whether the decision reflected deeper changes in the relationship between the British public and the monarchy. Some royal supporters argued that the event is too historically important to be removed from television coverage. Others suggested that declining viewership for traditional ceremonies may have influenced the broadcaster's decision. Whatever the reasoning, the reaction online was immediate. Social media platforms filled with comments from viewers expressing disappointment that the long-standing tradition had been dropped. Some users described the move as disrespectful to the Commonwealth itself, pointing out that the ceremony celebrates dozens of nations and billions of people. Others said the decision reflected a broader shift in media culture, where entertainment programming often takes priority over ceremonial events. For royal historians, the change represents something deeper. The monarchy has always relied heavily on media coverage to maintain its connection with the public. From the coronation of Queen Elizabeth II in 1953, one of the first major televised royal events, to modern social media updates from Kensington Palace, the royal family has consistently adapted to changing technology. But the disappearance of a televised Commonwealth Day service raises questions about how royal events will be shared with audiences in the future. Will traditional broadcasts return? Will digital platforms replace them? Or will certain ceremonies simply fade from the public spotlight over time? While those questions remain unanswered, the Commonwealth Day service itself continued with its usual sense of ceremony and symbolism. Inside Westminster Abbey, representatives from across the Commonwealth gathered for the multi-faith service. The program featured readings from youth leaders, performances celebrating the cultural diversity of Commonwealth nations, and messages emphasizing unity during uncertain times. In his Commonwealth Day message, Charles addressed the challenges facing the world today. He spoke about global conflicts, climate change, economic uncertainty, and the importance of cooperation between nations. But he also emphasized hope. Charles described the Commonwealth as a unique network capable of bringing countries together to solve shared problems. He praised young people across the Commonwealth for their leadership, creativity, and determination to build a better future. And he reminded listeners that the Commonwealth's strength lies in its diversity. For many attending the ceremony, the moment carried emotional weight. This was not only one of the first major Commonwealth Day services fully led by King Charles, but also a reminder of the legacy left behind by Queen Elizabeth II. Her influence on the Commonwealth cannot be overstated. During her 70-year reign, she visited more Commonwealth countries than any monarch before her. She attended countless meetings, welcomed world leaders to Buckingham Palace, and worked tirelessly to strengthen ties between nations. Many Commonwealth citizens still remember her visits to their countries, often decades ago. Those memories remain an important part of the monarchy's global reputation. Now, the responsibility for maintaining those relationships falls to King Charles and the next generation of royal leaders. Prince William, in particular, is expected to play a major role in shaping the Commonwealth's future. His environmental initiative, the Earthshot Prize, has already connected him with leaders and innovators from across the Commonwealth, and his growing presence at international events suggests that he is preparing for a larger diplomatic role. At the same time, the royal family faces growing challenges. Public debates about the relevance of the monarchy continue in several Commonwealth countries. Some nations have already become republics in recent years, choosing to remove the British monarch as their head of state. Others are openly discussing similar changes. Despite those debates, the Commonwealth itself remains strong. Membership has continued to grow, with countries joining even if they were never historically part of the British Empire. That expansion shows that the organization's value goes beyond its colonial origins. It represents a modern network focused on cooperation, education, development, and cultural exchange, and events like Commonwealth Day serve as a reminder of those shared goals. As the ceremony concluded at Westminster Abbey, the royal family stepped outside to greet members of the public. Crowds had gathered along the streets hoping to catch a glimpse of the royals as they departed. Even without the traditional television broadcast, interest in the event remained high. Photographs of the ceremony quickly spread across social media and news websites. Royal watchers analyzed every detail, from Kate's outfit to William's interactions with other family members. But the biggest takeaway from the day remained clear. After 37 years, the Commonwealth Day service has entered a new chapter. The tradition of live national broadcasts may have ended, but the ceremony itself continues to symbolize something much larger. It represents history, diplomacy, culture, and the enduring connections between nations spread across the globe. And as the monarchy continues to evolve under King Charles, events like this will play a crucial role in shaping its future. Whether through television, digital media, or public gatherings, the story of the Commonwealth and the royal family's role within it is far from over. Make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more celebrity updates just like this.